And welcome in, guys. Frame here, King Pep II, bringing you some more Brown Dust 2 news. However, I actually wanted to do a follow-up video from the last video I just uploaded on the major second half of the update we're gonna be getting for the second summer and second anniversary. Well, not second summer, but the third summer and second anniversary event that's coming on up. Okay. Um, in case you guys didn't want to watch, 3 hours of that video. I wanted to condense it into, a very short, maybe this will be straight to the point type of video for you guys. However, this isn't going to show the, well, the details, so to say, of what to expect because everything is going to be in that. In my previous video that I uploaded, you'll be able to see everything. You'll be able to see some of the demo plays for the new interaction scenes, and all that. Because the thing is, I don't know if like my previous video is gonna get age restricted because of how much content was shown, but that's why I decided to make this backup video. So just in case that happens, we're gonna be just looking at the info here in the dev notes. Okay, so the other video is still gonna be up on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go check out some of the demo play and the snapshots of like what's to come into the into the official version of it all on the official updates that's going to be happening, you're more than welcome to go and view my video. And also, if you want to see the snapshots too, I'll have them posted on my Twitter site, so all the information will be linked in the bottom of the description. So yeah, so let's get to it. Like, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Any comments down below about what's going on, if you want more news, if you want to see something else with Brown Dust 2, I'm more than happy to show you and make videos on. And yeah, so let's hop into it, shall we? Let's get it. Okay, so these are the dev notes that were just released. I know I have to be careful with this video just in case. Okay, so in the spirit of the 100-day summer festival, we've been hard at work to bring you content as rich and exciting as what we offered in the first update of the second anniversary event. So without further ado, let's dive right in and take a look together. Okay, so gonna show it really quickly. Okay, so this is the new thumbnail for the new season, beauty on duty. So this is it. There's a quick look. Like I said, I gotta be careful with this, just in case with YouTube's sake. However, I just want to reiterate this. I just want to say this again. Okay, I am going to be showing the full playthroughs. I'm going to be showing the full, images. I'm going to be showing you the, I guess I could say, the uncensored contents for the interaction scenes, all on my Twitch channel. If you want to go watch me on Twitch, I'll be displaying it, showing it, going through it, as well as making YouTube videos about the events themselves. Okay, so do not worry about that. I got you covered just for this video. I'm just going to keep it kind of, know what I mean? But let's get into it. Okay, so Beauty on Duty is going to be the new seasonal event story. Okay, it's going to be surrounding itself with the Modesty Corps again. I know they're making their return, guys. They're making their return. It's just like, how everything's getting censored here in the States and stuff all over the world. The Modesty Corp, right? Well, this time it's, we can take it down, right? Okay, so the bikini contest that was left unresolved due to the commotion caused by the Modesty Corps is making its return. Shada and Terese are stepping back into the competition once again, determined to claim the jewel prize for themselves this time around. So, same thing that Shada has always been wanting to do, is to claim this damn jewel over and over again. She's always been losing since, the very first summer event. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick little snapshot of this very quickly of Rubia and of Sylvia. So this is their new costumes, by the way, and also I'll be showing it down below here in just a second. Okay, so Bashada isn't the only one aiming to win. As Rubia, a fellow incognito assassin-made agent, enters the contest, things quickly start to spiral into chaos. In this seasonal event, characters in swimsuits will take center stage to light up the scene. Will Shada be able to seize victory alongside Terese, who's the powerful new contender shaking up the competition? We hope you look forward to the Beauty on Duty season event and show it lots of love. Okay, guys, so here we go. Here's a quick little snippet. There it is. And there we go. So, and so here's some of the displays of Shada and Terese. And then, obviously, we have some really nice, spicy art there. And like I said, guys, I really wish I could show it a little bit more. But like I said, you can check it all out on my screenshots on Twitch and the video I posted before this, okay? It's all there, all displayed. Okay, new costumes, introduction, Bikini Agent Sylvia. Here she is, the lovely Sylvia. There she is, guys. And yes, she is looking sexy. She really is. Nice curves. Gami did an excellent job as always. And along with the Maid Bikini Rubia, beautiful design. Love it so much. Very summery. Very, very, Okay, so Sylvia joins this year's bikini contest as a mysterious and captivating contestant who quickly rises as a top contender. Without a doubt, right? To avoid spoilers, we won't go into full details of her story here, but we hope you'll check out the seasonal event story to uncover what story she holds, okay? So here's a little bit of the details regarding her skills. Now, I did see this. I did say it in the last video I posted. I said that there was something with her about extending duration of buffs or something. So this was it. I wasn't hallucinating that. Bikini Agent Sylvia features a battle concept focused on dealing wide area damage while extending the duration of buffs currently active on herself. Okay, so we're looking at basically a what? I want to say sub DPS, but it does seem like she does do damage, much like her the Admiral one. And it is a wide area damage. Now we don't have any word on, the range of it by the tiles, but it does say wide area damage. So I guess we'll just have to use our imaginations on what type of, what's it called? On what range area it might look like. Who knows? It actually might cover like 9 tiles. You never know. It could. You know what I mean? But let's take a look at Maid Bikini Rubia. There she is. Take it all in. The eye candy. And by the way, I do have them as the PNGs on the side here, so if you want to take a look at them, they are there to be displayed. I almost forgot about that. Anyway, though, Agent Rubia, the assassin of the MAID team, or Maid, will be appearing in a Maid Bikini this time around. Maid Bikini Rubia is a spy from Incognito, the same organization as Shada. So that took place where Shada was in that one character pack of hers when she was with Elise and Rafina, and they were infiltrating this ballroom. If you want to see what the video's like, not the video, the character pack, it is there for you guys to do in the game. And by the way, I'll be uploading my gameplay of that. I forgot to do that a long time ago. I do apologize, but I am going to be making a video of that character pack story. But anyway, she'll be taking the spotlight in the story and playing a key role throughout, so please look forward to it. Maid Bikini Rubia features a battle concept centered on applying both DOTs and vulnerability on enemies. So, as always, and like her other costumes, she always applied a DOT. So, burn, much like how Leatrice is. That's why Leatrice and Rubia were always paired well together, especially when it came to Fiend Hunter bosses that, were vulnerable to DOT type burns and stuff like that. So, very excited to see this. Very, very excited to roll for her too. Now, we don't have enough details to really know what her, her area range is or anything like that. But in future time, we'll definitely see it, okay? And I'll be covering it for you guys. Okay, skill cutscenes. Here are some images of the skill cutscenes for the characters above. Okay, so I did take a look at these further, right? Now, sorry about that. Now, I'll have to go by very quickly just because, for YouTube's sake. I just have to scroll through them. You'll see but a glimpse, and if you want to pause it, feel free to pause it on the exact moment, okay? But here we go. There it is. There. Well, hers is actually, I can show this. But the other one, like I said, pause it in the video if you want to see it. Just, if you want to pause and see what Sylvia's was like, feel free to pause it in the video if you're watching this, okay? I'll also be posting it on my Twitter, okay, guys? So let's see here. So this is the pickup information, costume pickup scheduling, exclusive gear pickup scheduling. Okay, so here it is. Let me read it to you guys. So July 31st through August 14th, new Apostle Olivia. Okay, guys. So 14 days added to the Powder of Hope shop after pickup ends. So they are actually going to give us the let's see. Oh, the reruns. Sorry, I just saw something there. Sorry about that. But yeah, so new Apostle Olivia, which is Callian. If you haven't picked her up yet and you really still want to go for her, go for her. If you want to see my previous videos about her like damage and her skills, I do have it up on my my playlist here for Brown Dust 2, so feel free to check it out. Now, the reruns for Beachside Justice Mikaela is also another one that's currently rerunning as well. So she is excellent. However, she does have a penalty to her attack, as always, because she's so strong. But yeah, so I would say if you have both of the other Mikaelas, so like her Archbishopess and the Queen of Signatures, I would suggest going for it, but you don't have to go all out for it though. However, you can be rather safe with like a +1. But if you really want to go for her, then do it. Up to you guys. Just know that we're going to be getting a lot more tickets for this second part of the summer/anniversary event here, guys. Okay, so remember, we are going to be getting like over, was it 200 plus tickets in for draws. So you know what I'm saying. So very, very nice anniversary. One of the best I've seen so far, by the way. Let's see, guys. So she's also going to be added to the Powder Hope shop, so she's not limited either. Okay. Pool Party Angelica, which is actually she's currently going on actually. She's going to be until August 21st. Okay. She is also going to be added to the Powder Hope shop, so do not worry about that either. Okay. However, remember this with Angelica. The thing with Angelica though is, even though she is a very nice damage unit to have, because especially against Fiend Hunter bosses, right? Because she reflects the damage based off of the opponent's HP. So that's why she's very, very nice to have when going up against a Fiend Hunter boss or enemies with like a lot of health, because their damage reflects basically, you know, the HP on the opponent. So that's why she's very strong. Now, do keep in mind, at +3, that's actually where her SP decreases by 1 point. Just keep that in mind. She's actually at +3 with that. Now, I didn't talk about it when I was doing the video about her, so I'll just say it now. Investment-wise with her, if you really want to go for that, like, 1 SP point, you know, that like the minus SP point, like that 1 minus SP point for her, investment wise, then go for the +3, but I wouldn't really go anywhere further than that. You can level her up to +5 in time, but I would just go at +3. If you don't really want to go +3 and you would rather get her in the Powder of Hope shop, because you can do that, just snag a copy of her that way, so you can unlock her, get her to +1. Then if you really wanted to use the Golden Thread shop for when it resets on September 1st, you can +2 her. Or if you want to also go for her in the with your selected draw tickets, you can use that too as well. I would, though, however, not do the 12 pick. If you really want a +3 her, do the single selected draw, okay? Do that and you'll +3 her that way. Okay, guys? So, like I said, 3 ways of doing this, okay? But let's hop into now the new Bikini Agent Sylvia. So she is going to be launching on August 14th. So very, very excited for this one. I actually thought it was going to be the rerun for the limited Shada. However, we do see her down here as well. So, oh, wait, no. She is August. Sorry. My eyes were deceiving me here. Sorry, there's a lot of text here. I thought it was saying September 11th. So I was correct, then that means. So when Olivia's banner ends, the rerun for Shada is going to be on August 14th as well. So, guys, listen. So I did say, and I was correct also about Beachside Angel Terese rerunning. Now, the reason why they're doing this rerun a second time for this year, so total-wise, they had Summer Terese or Beachside Angel Terese 3 times as a limited for rerunning. That's incredible, by the way. So, this would be your, I wouldn't say final run to go for her, but I would highly suggest going for her just because she is very, very strong to have as a supporter unit because of her ability of augmentation. So that's why I would highly suggest going for her and +5ing her if you can. If you can't, +3ing her is nice too as well. You just want to have that augmentation ability percentage to be up there. At +5 with the skill tree included with her, it's a 220% damage buff for augmentation for anything with a 5 chain or less, and that's a lot of damage, by the way. Okay, so anything with, like, say, Sacred Ustia, Olivia, she literally helps with that, you know, one-shotting, you know what I mean? So yeah, she is, and she's very well, you know, you can use it for both magic and physical attack damage dealers. She works, she's well-rounded, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So that's why I would say you know, considering she's a limited, right, and she's not going to be added to the Powder Hope Shop, much like Summer Shada, she's not going to be either. The thing is, out of the both of them, I would have to say, like I said, Beachside Angel Terese is the better pick just because of the support skill that she has. Now, you can go for a copy of Pool Party Shada, right? She's not bad actually to have. Like, she also debuffs enemies just like the rest of her costumes. Hers is more along the lines of like if you want to collect, like if you want to have just a collection of like Shadas, that would basically be Pool Party Charlotte. But you don't have to necessarily go all out for her just because you can get her other like three by other means too. You know what I mean? So, but that's totally up to you guys what you want to do with that. I'll go for Pool Party Shada just because I already had a copy of her and I really did want to plus her more. But that's just me. That's just me, guys. Okay, that's just me. But out of the two, Beachside Angel Terese is the one to go for more so because of that supporter. Okay, keep that in mind. And the reason why they're also doing this a second time for this anniversary is because of the prestige skin, which was promoted for her. So that's why they're doing this. So like very lucky, right? Very, very fortunate that she got a prestige skin because they're gonna be rerunning her again. So two times in like what, the span of 3 months? That's actually insanely that's insane in a great way, right? So a lot of new players out there are very, very happy with that, I would say. Okay, so then so August 14th through September 11th for both Summer Shada and Summer Terese right there. Okay, guys? August 14th through August 28th is Bikini Agent Sylvia. On August 28th through September 11th, however, that's when we'll be getting Maid Bikini Rubia, okay? She's going to be also added to the Powder of Hope shop, so both the new bikinis of Sylvia and Rubia are going to be non-limited, so you can snag a copy in the Powder of Hope shop if you want to, plus them for free that way. Or you can also go for the Golden Thread shop and choose either one of them, okay? Selected draws are still there, so keep that in mind. You can put them for the 12, or you can put them for the selected draw 1. You know what I mean? Where their percentage, I believe, is like a 1.5%. I believe compared to if you were to put them in the 12 pick, it's like 0.012 or something percentage, I believe, something like that. But I would just personally, if I was going for just one unit in particular, the selective one draw is the best one to do. Okay, that's how I actually plus 5'd my Wilhelmina's Iron Monarch and Office Nebris, in fact. Okay, exclusive gear pickups, guys. So they are going to be having these again as well. Now, obviously, Rubia and Sylvia, they're still rocking the same, exclusive gears, right? They're still rocking them. So let me just read this. So Olivier's is going to be ending on August 14th. So Tierfing. The Prelude, which is Mikaela's weapon, is going to be ending on August 14th as well. Evil Sword Dromoon is going to be ending on August 21st. That's the one for Angelica. Premulin, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is going to be ending on August 28th. And let's see. I'm going to do my best to pronounce these names, guys. Plenthium, Gravior, and La Hypnos is also going to be, they're going to be ending, well, actually, wait a minute. Shadas and Tereses are going to be going through September 11th. Okay, then. Sorry, I almost read this incorrectly. La Hypnos, which is actually Morphia. So Morphia is going to be having a rerun as well, that means, too. Oh, yeah, it does say that. So, sorry about that. August 21st through September 4th. Oh, wow. That's actually really close to a day, to my B-Day. Not going to say which day, but I'm just saying it's close. But that's actually, yeah, Beach Vacation Morphia. She's going to be rerunning from August 21st through September 4th. So that means her exclusive gear, which is the one that's actually going to be actually changed from crit rate to crit damage for her for a basic attribute. Yeah. So that's one's, yeah, so oh wow, that's actually amazing then, because that means that if you're a big Morphia fan or a big Morphia player and you use her a lot and you don't have her exclusive gear, you're gonna be in luck, because the thing is, La Hypnos, her exclusive gear, like oh my gosh, I almost choked. Sorry. is actually that basic attribute for her, since they did announce they were going to change five of them, five of the exclusive gears, basic attributes. So Eclipse's, Celia's, Morphea's, theirs are going to be changing their crit rate to crit damage percentages. Leatrice is also going to be a crit damage now. And Teresa's exclusive gear is going to be switched from attack to HP. So that's actually a really nice thing that they're doing. So I just wanted to say that too, by the way. So there you go. Here's the calendar for it. Rubia's exclusive gear. Carneliana is going to be to September 11th as well. So there you guys go. There's the countdown, or the scheduling, I should say, for the new costumes and for the reruns. Okay, guys? So good luck on those, okay? Fiend Hunter, here's the Fiend Hunter boss. So we got Mother Crab, or Crab Mother here, making a rerun. I'm so waiting to fight this thing again, because I did not do well last year because my team wasn't the strongest at the time. So I'm very excited to fight this thing again. So here she is, the Crab Mother. Okay? It'll be her fire property type and feature a battle concept where it'll inflict fixed DOT with every attack. So there you guys go. So I'll be covering, my playthrough of it all, and doing my best to show you, what types of teams you can use against Crab Mother as well. It's gonna be my first time trying to do these types of videos, so be kind to me. Hope you guys enjoy it, because I'm a little nervous. and because this is gonna be my first time doing strategy builds with Brown Dust 2 against Fiend Hunter bosses. So a little nervous, but you know what? This is the first time for everything, right? Okay, the Fiend, let's see, Crab Mother, and then, let's see what this is. Oh, yeah, down here. So we have Bay Watcher. Dude, the name. Bay Watcher here, guys. You got the whistle and the bling here. The Fiend Hunter, the Fiend appearing in weeks 3 and 4 is a new Fiend named Bay Watcher. Bay Watcher is a wind property Fiend with a battle concept that requires the use of DOT attacks. So that's why I said Rubia and Leatrice are obviously going to be the best choice for this, since they are the only ones off the top of my head that actually do burn damage. And okay, and this one, like I said, I used Yumi from Sunren Kagura for the Crab Mother, by the way, because Yumi actually does bleed damage, which is crazy, right? So just wanted to say that too. Okay, guys, so let's see here. Guild Raid boss. I know, we're getting some more venison to take home with us. So here it is, the Fiend Hunter boss. Or, the Fiend Hunter boss. The Guild Raid boss. So, the Guild Raid boss for August is Ruler of Water. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this because I'm going to butcher it. But, enhances itself to deal high damage, but the more targets it hits, the less damage each target receives. Okay. That's a little bit easier to take in with damage-wise. Additionally, after attacking, it applies a debuff to itself, causing it to take increased damage. Ooh, that's interesting. Very interesting, I should say. Okay, then. New fated guest. I'm sorry. I don't really know what else to say, because I'm just gonna have to see what this boss is like. You know what I mean? Before I can even give you news about it. So I would just say be ready for the boss. That's what I'll say. Have a team ready. If you're gonna go into Guild Raid bosses. Okay. New fated guest. This is the lovely Sylvia, which they did talk about, and also has a very spicy interactive scene, which it does look like it. She does, to the point where the devs actually couldn't even show the second phase of it, along with Teresa's Prestige Skins interaction. So very spicy content to look forward to. So here she is. She's cooking some kebabs, it looks like. There she is on the grill. And let's see. This upcoming fated guest features a summer perfect romance story with Sylvia. The master will find himself running a food truck by the beach alongside the mysterious and enchanting Sylvia. Ooh, that's different. Nice. Food truck. Oh, that's probably why this is here. Okay, that makes sense. Caught up in incidents involving Sylvia, the master will gradually find his feelings for her deepening as he faces various hardships. Unlike previous fated guest stories, this one is designed to leave a lingering sense of wistful emotion. We hope you look forward to it and give it a lots of love. Okay. So this actually, the way they worded this actually feels like it's gonna be like how Nebras's was. I would say Nebras had a very emotional one too, along with the art around it that surrounded it. It actually had an emotional feel to it as well. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Wilhelmina was more along the line of like romance. I wouldn't say now emotion wise, from what I feel where it says lingering sense of wistful emotion, I imagine it's maybe something along the lines of Nebras's. That's the way I feel they're going with it. Not It's not gonna be sad, mind you. It's just gonna be, have some emotion with maybe the backstory of maybe Sylvia this time around. I'm very much looking forward to that too, because right now, like Wilhelmina's was literally very very just overall. I felt like I was reading like a romance novel. I kid you not. It was so well done with the story writing with that, and I've really felt like they were really conveying their feelings with that, and Wilhelmina herself too, breaking out of that cold type of demeanor. It really was something that I enjoyed and overall very much experienced with it. I'm not saying that the other ones weren't good. I'm just saying that Wilhelmina's hit a little bit different when it came to the romance feel to it, I should say. But I love all of them nonetheless. Like, don't get me wrong with that, okay? Okay, so let's see here, guys. So here she is. Here's some skill cutscenes that we'll also be able to get as wallpaper. So keep that in mind. You complete them. You also get wallpaper with the additional interaction scene with Sylvia. Okay. Here it is with Sylvia. I won't leave it up just because gonna be careful for YouTube's sake. I know, right? But believe me, when I stream this on Twitch and when I also talk about it more, I'll definitely be showcasing all of it for you guys to see. Phase 2 and all. Okay. Okay, so due to various circumstances, Sylvia's interactions in this update will be added without voice lines. We ask for your understanding. So, sadly, she won't be able to have the VA, it looks like. So, like, much like how they had the VAs, they added the VAs for the previous interaction scenes. Seems like Sylvia won't be getting hers. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be permanent or maybe down the line they'll tell us in a future update that, hey, we got, VA for, Sylvia now. So we're just going to have to understand this and, just be patient with it because I know in time, like I have a strong feeling in time that they'll be able to have a VA with the overall story for Sylvia and her interaction scene. So, don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. We still have the other ones, but also, like I said, we'll be patient with them. I can be patient with them. Honestly, um, they're worth having. The extra weight. I don't mind it. I honestly don't. Okay, so here's the new Prestige skin. Now, I'm gonna show this very very quickly in case you guys didn't watch my VOD. All of it's on there. But here you go. There it is. Very quick one. Once over. But there it is. This is the Milky Bikini Terese. So this is the Prestige skin, guys. Now I know a lot of people don't like paying, $50 for a skin, but to be honest with you guys, we are getting a lot out of this compared to, other skins that cost you a fortune. You are getting like the interaction scene, the visuals, the special effects along with it. So, and also a very nice wallpaper too to add to your home screen. So all in all, I feel like, yeah, to be honest with you, I would prefer it be just a straight up buy system where I could just buy for like $30. For me, $30 is actually like a realistic type pricing for like special limited type skins of any sort, like at all in any gacha game. Okay, I feel like $30 is fair. Um, but I'm gonna showcase this for you guys, and to be honest with you, I love to give back to Brown Dust 2. Out of all the companies that or games that I play, um, company wise, Brown Dust 2 devs here, NeoWiz, like I love to give back to them because first off, their game is very free to play. You don't have to spend to like get anywhere. You really don't have to. Even in PvP mode, you don't have to spend money like in other games to really like climb. You don't. It's like you don't have to do that. So that's why I always like to give back here and there. And Prestige skins is my way, doing it. So that's me though, guys. That's just me. Okay, that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I honestly would just like I honestly would just like to have a straight up buy system. That would be easier on a lot of us. Plus, we do get a nice deal for it too, as well. But yeah. So when we thought of the keywords summer season and prestige skin, the very first concept that came to mind was a cow print bikini, because why not, right? Among all the existing swimsuit costumes, Terese was unanimously chosen as the character who fit this concept best. In fact, she was selected to get a prestige skin even before Ustia, which is something they did talk about in the live stream. But since Terese plays a key role in the storyline coming out in August, we adjusted the release schedule to match that. Makes sense, which is probably why they also did a rerun, like, a second time this year for her Beachside Angel limited costume. That's most likely the reason why. So there you guys go. Here's the ST character standby motion and dash motion. So you got the special effects here with her. So there you guys go. Okay, skill cutscene. Show it really, really quickly. Here it is. Okay, if you want to pause it in the video, feel free to. Let's see. Our team single line comments. There are so many things we'd like to say, but it's a bit hard to write them all down. Please understand we have our reasons. Oh yeah, I know. I'm using my imagination. Don't worry. I have it too. You can interact with this scene, so I'll show it really, really quickly. There you guys go. Our team's single line comment. We poured Terese's heartfelt feelings for premium milk into this design. They sure did. It's Terese's premium stuff, guys. That's why it's a prestige skin. Anyway. Future prestige skin policy. Okay, so now we'd like to talk a bit about our update plans for faded guests and prestige skins. So this is something they talked about also in their live stream video, which I covered as well. While there are those who like the prestige skin, we also understand since this is a new business model, some of you may be concerned about how frequently they'll be released. We've also seen worries that all interactive content like faded guests might eventually be replaced by paid content. Stories and interactions with your faded guests will continue to be updated and available to enjoy without any additional charges. Apart from this, interactions with prestige skins will be offered as paid content, but they won't include any story elements and will consist solely of interactions. Okay, guys? So prestige skins are just, simple straight up interaction scenes. That's why you don't that's why you don't have to have the costume to have it available like how you have to do with faded guests, because the faded guests for their interaction scenes you actually have to have the costume to be able to do the interaction scene. However, like I said, you only need one copy of them and that's it, and then you'll have it, you'll have the ability then to be able to do their story and then eventually unlock their interaction scene. So all in all, it is still very, very free as well. It's still free. So you just got to get them one time. Okay, we also plan to ensure that the release or frequency of prestige skins does not exceed that of faded guest content. So basically, they're not going to spam, players with prestige skins, every 2 months or so. You know what I mean? I know Nikkei is very, they're currently very bad with this because a lot of the times I've been seeing so many of their costume gotchas lately. I counted 7 in total for this year alone, which is actually very, very high. And their outfits were like $60. It's insane. And they're still going to be doing more in the future for their other, their upcoming anniversary. I know for a fact they'll have at least 2, limited costume gotchas for that, because they did it last year, right? It was Cinderella and Black Scarlet. But yeah, so I just want to show you the comparison, because the thing is, guys, I know that later down the line, because they did show when they're going to be doing another prestige skin. So it's going to be in the 2.5 anniversary, which is in December. Okay, they're going to be launching one there, but they're also going to be having, I believe that there was going to be 2 faded guests. So that's an additional 2 that's for free, by the way. You just got to roll the character one time, or if you already have them, right? And then that's just, and they're picked for the interaction scene, then you don't have to roll for them. So basically, you're going to be getting again 2 free ones, but they're also going to have alongside that, a prestige interaction scene. But the other 2 are free. They're faded guest ones, and also they come with a story. and also additional wallpaper for you guys. Okay, so that's actually still very very generous with that system. But then in the new year they did put they were gonna have another prestige skin. So the thing is, so for the new year that'll count as one, right? So if they're gonna go by what they do for this year, that means that okay, so they'll have one for January, right, in the new year. Now, if we're counting just the new year in general, right here, right, and then the second one will be released in summer because obviously summer is a very big thing for Brown Dust 2, and also their anniversary in June. So they'll have one more in June, and then I would say they'll have like one more then again in like their 3.5 anniversary. So overall, that's like 3 prestige skins in the year, right? So that's actually the span from or the intervals between each of this is actually really, it's a huge gap. So that's actually really nice if you think about it that way. Now that is if they do this. Now mind you, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm just saying that it would make more sense to do it this way, since like, they did say that the Faded Guest content isn't going to be surpassed by, prestige skins, right? So like summer and their half anniversaries, I would say honestly are the only times that I could see that being a thing. I would definitely be all for that then, and then if they wanted to do one in the new year, then okay. But like I would say summer and half anniversaries, in my opinion, are the best times to do them. And then everything else could be like Faded Guest. You know what I mean? I don't know what you guys think about that. I don't know if you want to say anything in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Well, how do you guys think they should approach it with the intervals of how big of a gap they should be released in? I'd like to hear your thoughts on it because, in all honesty, I feel like there should be a big gap between prestige skins releases. Okay, so the next Faded Guest is scheduled to be added around October to November. Okay, so they did say that as well in their live stream. As for prestige skins, one will be added at the time of the 2.5, which I already said, anniversary in December, and another in January, which I already covered. During that same period, we also plan to release 3 or more Faded Guests. So like I said, you're going to be getting like 2 additional ones they had in their schedule for 2.5 anniversary, and then one, I believe more was going to be released sometime later after that. So yeah, they're going to be having a lot more for the Faded Guest. Okay, so new minigame, guys, the Slap Slap Pop. So this actually looked extremely fun. And I am going to be streaming a lot of this because it honestly is looking very, very fun and juicy. Let's just say that. But overall, it's just seeing how much fun you could tell that they had making this and what went into it. And they even got, I believe, one of the producers, actually. I think she was the lead producer again, if I'm not mistaken. She came in and she talked about it, and she was also playing it too. So it was really fun to see, them getting, excited to play this game that they developed and everything. And I'm very much looking forward to it. It's a rhythm game, by the way. So be sure to check out this unique bouncy rhythm game in action. This is a mini game that began with a simple idea. Let's make a rhythm action game that fits the summer theme. And from that idea came a game called Slap Slap Pop. So here it is, guys. Slap Slap Pop is a rhythm action game that uses 2 side-by-side note lanes and takes place against the refreshing backdrops of a swimming pool. Perfect for the hot summer vibe. Players have to press the notes in time with the rhythm. The gameplay unfolds as you tap both sides of a character's butt after they've gotten themselves hilariously stuck in a water balloon toss panel wall. And they did showcase a lot of that too. If you want to go check it out, it is on my VOD. But yeah, so a total of 5 playable characters, or rather 5 pairs of butts, will appear in the game. So you have Venica, Zenith, Eclipse, Terese, and Nebris to choose from in this. Each of these 5 characters brings her own unique charms as the star of this cheeky rhythm game. So, like I said, it looked extremely fun. I'm going to have a blast playing this. And honestly, I hope you guys do too out there. And also, it'll be permanently added to the arcade. So if you want to go play it once the update is finished, it'll be added there permanently for you guys to enjoy, okay? And there also is a silhouette mode in case you want to go outside and let's just say, you don't want nobody seeing what you're doing, slapping some booty, right? Slapping some booty, right? You can just put it in silhouette mode and it does that, shadowing on. I don't know how it's going to look, mind you. I don't play my game in silhouette mode, but if you're outside and you want to play it still, you want to get your freak on, just put it in silhouette mode and you'll be able to play it. But honestly, I'm not even sure how that would look. I mean, would it just be like just a big cloud on your screen and then like you're just pressing the buttons on your phone? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to even imagine it. But yeah, so they also have a grading system right here. So it's on hard and challenge mode. So on hard and challenge mode, that's when like your scores will count for like rankings. Normal mode is basically just to get used to the game. Basically, it's just a tutorial kind of stage. You can pick from soundtracks. So you see like Seaside Memories, Sunshine, Splash Queen, Beachside Angels. So they have a they have a lot of soundtracks that you can choose to spank to. When you press the start button on the main screen, you'll be taken to the song selection screen. So like I said, here you can choose your track. First things first, the song selection screen. This rhythm game features 3 vocal tracks from Brownless to Summer Event Packs, Summer Night, Beachside Angels, and Splash Queen. In addition, 2 brand new original tracks created just for the rhythm game. Seaside Memories and Sunshine will also be added, bringing the total to 5 songs you can enjoy. Each of the 5 tracks has a unique vibe, so we recommend giving all of them a try. Nice, nice, nice. So we're gonna be having 2 additional summer soundtracks. Very, very nice. I'm excited. I love their soundtracks in this game. Their OSTs are bangers, man. They really are. And then there's a feature to adjust note speed. This doesn't affect the music tempo or grading in any way. It simply changes how fast the notes appear visually on screen. So feel free to adjust the speed to whatever feels more comfortable for you. Okay. So it doesn't like if somebody's not very coordinated, they can like adjust the speed and still have fun while playing it. So that's always a nice thing too, you know? See, they think about us, right? But lastly, there are 3 difficulty levels available. So like I said, normal, hard, and challenge. Normal mode has fewer notes and wider timing windows, making it perfect for getting used to the rhythm, enjoying the music, and maybe sneaking a peek at some butts while you're at it. It's just a relaxed experience overall. Dude, I love these dev notes, man. I love when they talk about the way they word things in their dev notes. I noticed it for a while, by the way. I just never said anything about it, but I'll say it. I love the way they word things like this. It makes it so much more, fun to read, you know? Oh, yeah. Let me be careful there, YouTube. Both hard and challenge modes are based on the same note patterns, but challenge mode has one key twist. The notes briefly appear and then disappear. Okay, so that is going to be a challenge. By far it is. Um, Unlike hard mode, where the notes stay visible, you have to rely on your instincts to stay on rhythm and hit the timing and challenge. Oh, that's going to be difficult. Oh, yeah, that is going to be difficult. So, like, the closer the notes get to where you have to press, right, they'll, like, disappear. So you're going to have to, like, go on instinct, like, literally on your instincts. That is a challenge, actually. Okay, guys, so it'll show it really quickly. I'm going to show this really quickly. You can, pause the video if you want to, if you're watching this. So here you go. There you guys go. And here we go again. Okay. But yeah, so there are 3 kinds of notes you'll encounter while playing. These include normal notes, long notes, and slide notes. Each one uses a different type of input. You'll either tap, hold, or slide depending on the note. Make sure to hit them in time with the rhythm. And here's a little secret. The character's butt movements change slightly depending on the type of note you hit. If you notice the difference, we think you'll enjoy that little detail. Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of us are. They thought of us. Oh yeah, here's the fever time. I could show this because since it's covered. So there you guys go. Fever time. Dude, that fever time demo of the video was crazy. I loved it. You saw Gami like smacking the air because he was imitating what was going on. Okay, so now let's talk about fever time. Each song has a specific point where the fever gauge appears. The more accurately you hit the notes during this section, the more the gauge will fill up. Once the gauge is full, you'll enter fever mode. During fever mode, you can earn bonus points by tapping repeatedly no matter what type of note appears. The number of taps you can perform depends on when you enter fever mode. Okay, so all about getting that gauge up there, guys. Among other things too. Among other things, right? Getting gauged. Okay. Now we have the ranking screen. Normal difficulty is not included in the ranking, so they did say that. Only scores from hard and challenge difficulties will be recorded, so that's what I meant when I was saying that, okay? There you guys go. Furniture. Okay, so this was actually something fun they did too with the new furniture. So obviously you see you see like Terese, Venica, Zenith, and Nebris, and Eclipse here. So you can get them as furniture, right? It's wild, right? Lastly, let's go over the rewards you can earn by completing missions in the rhythm game. You won't receive in-game currency as a reward for playing, but clearing missions will they'll grant you furniture for your my room, as well as a special rhythm game exclusive butt skin. Sounds good to me. I don't need gold. There are also extra challenge objectives for those who want to show off their skills. These don't come with rewards, but they're a fun way to push yourself without any pressure. Sounds good to me, man. It sounds relaxed, fun, and I'm all for the contents. Okay, guys, so let's go to some of the improvements met here. So, Tower of Pride improvements. Um, as many of you requested, we've improved Tower of Pride. When we started working on it, we realized it wasn't just a matter of changing the season reset timing. The system itself needed more work than expected, which caused delays. First, we'd like to offer an apology. No problem. Previously, Tower of Pride was a mode you cleared once every 4 weeks. You could play every 2 weeks, but rewards were only refreshed every 4. Going forward, it will be changed to a structure similar to last night, where you clear it once and continue to receive rewards over time. Oh, very, very nice. Only past ranking records will remain, while the ranking and podium will be removed. Achievements related to Tower of Pride will also be revised and distributed accordingly. Okay. So as for rewards, the ancient crystals and devil coins you would have earned over a 2-week period will now be divided across 14 days and distributed by a mascot NPC each time you log on. Ooh. Okay then. I'll have to get used to this, but I don't mind it. I mean, personally, I never had an issue with Tower of Pride. But I think in a lot of ways, the extension for the reset, not extension, but like the reset time in itself, I think it really needed to be the time limit decreased, you know. So I'm happy that it's not like, you know, every 4 weeks now. So you could play every 2 weeks now, right? Oh, wait a minute, hold up. Let me reread this to make sure. Um, was a mode you cleared once every 4 weeks. You could play every 2 weeks, but rewards were only refreshed every 4. Oh, okay. Sorry, I messed that up. Okay, so then that means then. Oh, so you're getting the rewards every 2 weeks total instead of waiting for like the 4-week period to end to get the rewards? Is that what they're saying? Excuse me for my small brain, but I believe that's what they're saying, right? So like in every 2 weeks, you're gonna accumulate the same amount of reward, but instead of waiting the 4-week period to collect it all together, right? Is that what they mean by that? So then like you'll be able to spend your reward earnings in the shop if you wanted to, instead of waiting for like 4 weeks to pass and then collect them. You can get like some of the reward in 2 weeks, and they're gonna the same amount added that would have been 4-week period of stand. So you're still receiving the same amount of rewards. It's just divided. Okay, I believe that's what they're saying with that then. Okay. I thought they actually added more rewards. I thought that was what they meant by that. Okay. I believe that's what they're saying here. If you correct me, please, if I'm wrong about this. If I'm saying this wrong, please correct me in the comments if I'm mistaken this. Support character. Okay, so this is actually something new they'll be doing. A new feature is being added that works similarly to the support character system in the existing guild raids. So basically, you're able to use a supporter or your friends or maybe even your guild members like character to have on your team. So it's like a temporary character, except, you know, it's better. And you'll be able to earn deco coins this way. That's basically what the support system is now. So say if like a new player joins in and they friend me, right? They could borrow like say my Mikaela, Dalvi, Terese, and you know, they'll be able to use them in a combat scenario, right? So yeah, that actually is something that I really wanted to look forward to with this one, and they succeeded because I was actually waiting for something like this to happen. Because I have like a friend too that, like, you know, he's a beginner and everything, and the best I could do for him was like, you know, explain, you know, how the system works, fighting and things like that. Nice, what's it called? Like nice teams to work with and stuff like that. But now he can like borrow, you know, whoever I put as a supporter to be, you know, borrowed. So that's actually really nice, like I said. You'll now be able to borrow a friend's support character for use in PvE content that isn't tied to rankings. Okay, so this applies to normal and challenge battles and seasonal events, story packs, main quests, in character packs, NPC quests, and hunting grounds. Nice. However, very hard difficulty in main quest is excluded. Okay, so I guess I can understand that. But nonetheless, players can get by content a lot quicker. Like newer players can get by a lot of the content through like normal and hard mode, and they'll still be able to collect the rewards at the end of each story pack. So that's actually really nice. Still, nonetheless. Support characters cannot be used in other battle modes such as Fiend Hunter, Mirror Wars, Evil Castle Last Night, or Guild Raids. Understandable. Understandable. Okay, guys. So let's see. During battle, you can deploy a support character using the replace button. Recommended support characters from friends or suggested users will appear below your own characters. Only one supporter character can be placed in a team, and duplicates of the same character are not allowed. You can borrow a character from the same friend up to 3 times per day, regardless of which character it is. Very, very nice. If a friend or guild member uses your character, you'll receive 2 deco coins as a support reward, and you can earn this reward up to 10 times per day. Oh wow! So that's another way you can collect deco coins then for buying furniture then in your dorm shop. A recommended supporter character system is also being introduced. Helpful support characters for each battle will be suggested, and these can be used up to 3 times per day. Also, the friend list limit will be increased from 20 to 30. So nice, very very nice. UI improvements, guys. So all in all, in a nutshell, this is basically they're gonna add this little symbol you see down here. It's like a press play symbol. You click on it, it'll bring up a menu down here of all the other story packs and also character packs and PvP mode as well, along with the other packs. So it's actually a lot easier to do this because before you had to always like click out and you would always have to click up here, right here. You have to log out and go back to home screen, then go back to the character packs or story packs section. Then you would have to do it manually again. So it was kind of a pain to do that. And if you always wanted to like go someplace different, you always had to do the same thing. But now you can just do it from this menu. So that's basically what this is saying. Hunting ground, instant movement, and field UI adjustments. Okay. So let's see here, guys. Previously, when you tapped auto hunting while on the field, your character would run all the way to the hunting ground. This will be improved so that you teleport there instantly. Oh, so that's what they meant by that. Okay. See, I couldn't quite understand what they were saying about that in the live stream. That's why when I was doing my previous VOD, right, I was a little confused about what they were talking about. Maybe they didn't translate it correctly, but that's okay. So what this meant was, so if you went into the game and let's just say I did auto hunting, the thing was the characters would automatically run to the location. However, depending on how far away you were from it, you would have to wait quite a while. So, I just literally just, sprinted the entire way there, or used like, whatever ability for sprint, dash to get there quicker. However, now you can just teleport there. So that's actually very nice. So you no longer have to, wait for them to get there, even though you have them on auto hunting. Okay, so now I understand what this is. Okay. That makes sense then. I'm glad I actually read that now. Okay, costume recommendation settings improvements. After obtaining a costume, a prompt would appear suggesting you set it as your home screen and representative character. That is true. In addition to this existing feature, new options will be added to let you level up the character and automatically equip gear. Okay. So instead of going, like, for example, let's say if you unlock Sacred Ustia, so the prompt would come up here, and there you see her right there, right? And like whenever you go to the home screen, this prompt comes up, pops up, I mean, and you would either select them to be like whatever costume that you have on currently. Well, let me actually use Shada as an example since she has like 4 of them, including the limited. So like for example, if you had Shada's Lapis Witch costume on right now, right? And then you went ahead and you unlocked Summer Shada, right? The limited. And then you go back to the home screen. What it'll ask you is that it'll have this prompt come up here. It'll ask you if you want to switch to that costume instead. Now, in addition to that, they're going to have a prompt where you can level them up. You have the choice to level them up or equip gear on them automatically. So, like, you don't have to go to the character layout and do it manually and level up their skill tree and all that. You know what I mean? You can just do it then and here. That's what I'm assuming this is what this is saying here too. So that's actually really nice, I guess. It's like a shortcut in a way. So you don't have to like go all the way back to their like, character page setup to do it. Okay then. Let's see. Home screen, quick hunt, and return to field. Um, First, the quick hunt button, which was previously only available on the field screen, will now be added to the home screen as well. Okay, that sounds good. Previously, in packs like Loopy Diner that didn't have a quick hunt button, you had to move to another pack before you could use it, which was inconvenient. Now a button will be added so you can start quick hunt right away from the home screen without having to enter the field. Okay, so it's just another shortcut. So like, say if you were on the home screen and you wanted to do some auto hunting, you just simply click this and it'll like teleport you instantly. So that's really nice. Okay, so another shortcut way of doing it. Next, the return to field button will be added. In most subculture style games, content access UIs are usually placed in the bottom right corner. However, since Brown Dust 2 treats the field as the home screen and overlays the same UI on top of it, new players often found it confusing to figure out how to return to the field. To address this, a dedicated return to field button will be added to the bottom right of the home screen, offering a more intuitive way to return. At the same time, for players already used to the original back button, that function will remain unchanged. That's what I'm used to. I'm just used to going to the back button when I was on the field. I just got used to it. But this should be easier than for players that I guess had issues with that. Okay. So auto revival and character pack. Okay then. So next is the automatic revival of temporary companions. While progressing through character packs or event packs, players sometimes fail to notice that a temporary companion has become fatigued, which makes it more difficult to clear the content. Although visual cues like ghost icons were added to indicate when a companion had died, the more fundamental solution was to prevent them from dying in the first place. As a result, all temporary companions will now automatically revive and recover to full HP. Not gonna lie, guys, when I was first starting to play this too, I actually had a little bit of an issue with like who was alive because they would appear basically as just a ghost, so you could like look through them, but that indicated that they were they were knocked the hell out. So sometimes I didn't realize that, so I would go in and I would fight and I'd be like, oh shoot, where's like the rest of my team? So yeah, so in this case, this actually would help because I like I said, I actually had issues with it too when I started playing the game. Shop UI improvements. So let's see here. So they're gonna be adding a lot of the character, well, the what's it called? Not character. Oh my God, talking about characters so much. Um, so the package menu on the home screen is being replaced with the page shop. Okay, so basically when you go down to the shop menu and you click the icon, it'll take you to this. Okay. Previously, all packages were listed on a single screen, but now they'll be neatly categorized based on their type for easier viewing. The Diamond Charge store will also be moved from the existing shop to the new page shop. Okay, then. I guess that's easier, too, That is easier, I guess. I didn't have an issue with it the first time, but it is what it is. I don't mind. Besides, like I said, I really don't spend on this game. Like I said, it's very free to play. Stat icon display improvements. Let's see here. Existing stat icons will now differentiate stats that are added as totals. So since existing stats like crit rate, crit damage, defense, and magic resistance are all percentage based, we decided to make a plus on stats that are added as flat values minus, such as HP, attack, and magic attack. Okay then. Let me see what they mean by this. Oh, okay. I think I see what they mean by that. You see the little plus sign here? You would have to zoom in to see this. Obviously, when I like see the new UI update, I'll be able to showcase this better for you guys. But I see what they're saying here. So like right next to these symbols, I see a plus. So that's indicating what? That are added as flat values? Okay. Yeah, it's like I said, you can't see it all that well unless you're really zoomed into this. But when I go and display this on the new update, when I do a video for it, you'll be able to see it clearly. Okay, then. I could see where that could help. I could see where that could help. Because it would let you know, like, what you needed to improve upon, I guess. Or what you had on it, I should say. Custom mark improvements. Previously, when setting a custom mark, it was inconvenient because other information about the gear was not displayed. Now, all gear information will be displayed, and the mark will be applied only to the gear you have designated. So let me see here with this one. Oh, okay, I see here with this. See, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I actually don't use this this system here. I simply just know what it is. I know it's really odd, but I just already know what it is. But I see what they're saying with this. Because if you want to, let's say, have the same weapon, right? And this goes back to like those, duplicate exclusive gears. You could set it up with different substats, and you can like mark it as something different, so you'll know the difference between the two. Like one might be just used straight for like crit damage. The other one might be straight used for like I don't know, whatever percentage is either attack or magic attack. So I can see that being helpful, but I don't really use like anything differently because I haven't really quite experimented with that yet. But I do see the benefit in knowing like what is, say like I said, if you had a duplicate of something and you wanted to try something new with like your duplicated exclusive gear or maybe a UR gear you crafted, I could see where that would be helpful because you could tell it apart then. Okay then. And also you'll be able to easily like borrow, a gear and place it on another like character that could borrow that gear and still, have the strength to use it. You know what I mean? So like Eclipse's weapon that I have on her. I could use that weapon and like if I'm going up against a certain boss, maybe it's like a counter type where it's like let's say I'm fighting a water type boss and I want to use Lowen or not Lowen. Let me use you know what? Let me just use Lowen. And I wanted to, and she had like not so great stats on her weapon. Well, I can just switch then to Eclipse's weapon, and I'll know immediately what stats, what substats are on it through that new UI system that they have here, right? And I'll be able to go like, oh, okay, so that could work for Lowen, and then I'll just let her borrow that weapon in the meantime. So yeah, I do see that is improved upon. My info improvement and ID card addition. So this is something that's basically a little quality of life thing. Make your stuff a little bit more, entertaining to see with your ID. To customize it. Very, very nice. That's basically what this is saying. So I'm very much looking forward to this one because I've been wanting there to be a customization for this for like the longest time. So I'm very happy that they're doing something with it. Here's some new stickers that'll be added as well, so you guys know that. Evil Castle expansion. So they added an additional 50 floors. So in case you guys want to challenge yourselves even further and you passed all of them already, here's another way that you can like pass the time and earn rewards on top of it. Okay. They're doing another rerun, or they're adding. My God, what did I just say? Adding. Man. Rerun Fiend Hunter. This was the previous event that they had. They're going to be rerunning it, or they're going to be adding it basically in the permanent shop, is what they're saying. So yeah, it'll now be available permanently. And other than that, this talks about balance adjustments for characters, control improvement. So basically, everything that you see here. If you want to take a look at the dev notes, there's a lot more for this. I really just want to. Oh yeah, let me cover this one too, because this was actually something very, very important. So the 5 exclusive gear items will be adjusted for balance in the August 28th update. Now, this is something I brought up earlier in the video, as well as my previous VOD, or my previous video I did on YouTube. So they're going to be changing some of these exclusive gear stats, or I should say basic attributes, because they weren't actually working for them. So that's why a lot of us just didn't really use them, because, we decided to use UR gear to craft because they were actually a lot better based off of their, basic attributes and stuff like that. However, now they're going to adjust 5 of them. So Leatrice, Teresa's, Eclipse's, Celia's, and Morpheus. So Leatrice's exclusive weapon, which is her bow, the Lunar Piercer. So it used to have an exclusive attribute that was fixed to crit rate, right? But now it'll be changed to crit damage percentage, which is actually excellent for her. Okay? Teresa's is going to be switched from attack percentage to HP percentage. She is a supporter, guys. She ain't there for like attacking. Believe me, she's not. I know that her first costume might be a bleed type, attack costume, but the thing is, everybody uses her for support because that's how she's just built. You know what I mean? In fact, they should like if anything adjust her. They should adjust the first I don't know what it's called off the top of my head, but it's her it's her main story costume basically. They should adjust the skill to be something else because to be honest with you, um, none of us really use it for attacking. That's the thing about it. Like everything is with support for her. She's like still one of the like I said, she's one of the strongest supporters in the game, right? Eclipse is an exclusive weapon as well, along with Celia's and Morpheus. Always relied on crit rate percentages, and none of us were rocking that unless you wanted to rock a team in PvP mode and you felt very lucky. We know going up against your opponents and relied on the crit rate outcome on your exclusive gears here, and you took a chance, with them on. You technically could have gotten it by. You technically could get by PvP mode with like an entire group of like DPS if you really wanted to. But the thing is, nobody's gonna do that. They're not gonna take that risk. You know that they're not gonna take that risk. So I mean, that was the only thing I saw that being used for in PvP mode, but like I never did it. I have the exclusive gears and I really wanted to use them, but the thing was is that it was crit rate and I didn't really know what I could do with that. So I kept them, like I wanted to use them, and now I can. So now that they're gonna switch them all to crit damage percentages, I can actually use them and feel really great going into battle now using them. And that means that the gear I currently have on them I can actually now use for other costumes which would need their gear. So all in all, it's a win-win. You know what I mean? It's a win-win. So I'm very, very happy about this. And they also updated the titles, the achievements here. So from 49, they went to 59, which is something I really wanted them to do. So very, very excited about that. Future story pack update plans. Okay, so gonna cover this really quickly. It was more along the lines of they were trying to get a feel for like what the players felt was weak in the story process of the game, which is why they're gonna be switching the story writer from you know from how it used to how the story writer who was behind it all and everything. I do apologize. I don't remember the name, but they're switching writers basically, and they did say that in the live stream. It was really emotional to see it happen because I really did feel, I felt for the dude. I felt for him, man. It was heartbreaking because the thing is, you could tell on his face too that he was sad. But the thing was, they wanted to make the story writing a bit better for the fans, so it was really tough to watch it happen. But you know, it was something that needed to be done. I enjoyed the stories. I didn't think there was anything too wrong with them. Yeah, I felt that some of them could have used a bit more, story in depth with like some of the details, but I never really felt that it was so bad that I just didn't want to do the story. I really enjoyed the story. I really, really did. But we'll see what happens now. I'm not doubting the new story writer. Like, don't like. I am not doubting them at all. They did a phenomenal job with the Splash Queen event because they did say that the new story writer did work on that one. I enjoyed that a lot. So they also worked on another one. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I believe it was one of the interactions. I believe it was at least. But I know for a fact the Splash Queen one was actually written by the story writer that's not going to take over when season 4 starts. But anyway, that's basically what happened with this. And also they looked at it from like what could be improved upon. So here it is. So here are the results from the open-ended survey. So weak story logic. It was predictable, repetitive plot. Dimensional gate is overused, needs more twists, mature themes. See, the thing with this is I was really happy that when Story Pack 15 was released, they actually started to include blood in a lot of their scenes. So that's actually where I felt that's where, we started to see more mature themes added to it. And I was very happy about that because the thing was, Brown Dust 2 main story, despite how a lot of it is fan service that you see on the outside of it, the main story is actually very, very like, dark, and it's supposed to be that way. Okay? It's supposed to be a very dark theme. And that's when they started to add, blood and more like, um heavier scenes with like I wouldn't say gore, but I would say like they added more things where it was more mature themed. So that, I like if they worded it correctly, mature themed. I don't know how else to say it, guys. You would have to see like the stories yourselves. And like I said, I recorded all the main stories except for 1 and 2 because at the time I wasn't doing YouTube, but I have the rest of them from 3 to 18. So you'll see a huge change with the theme of it. And that's the direction where I felt they should go more with too. And I'm very happy they did that. But As for like the predictability and the repetitive plot, what do you guys think about that? I'd like to hear in your comments below about it. What did you think about the dimensional gate being overused, as well as everything else here that they say? The abrupt personality changes, so like sudden, inconsistent shifts from main characters, Lathel, especially him. Relationships, character growth feels forced. Unengaging start, slow, uninteresting opening, needs a stronger hook intro. Lacking story presentation, requests for more cutscenes, animations, emotions, and tensions were not delivered. Okay, so I put this in a survey. I actually wrote this down in a survey. I did say that having animated cutscenes would actually be a great thing for this game, and it honestly would fit very well with it. However, when it comes to the animations themselves, me personally, this is just me personally, it's my opinion, I would much rather have 2D animations rather than 3D animations. I know that 3D animations look really cool and all, but the thing is, I feel like with this story, 2D animations will look a lot better along with it. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. I don't know how other people think about it, but I would love to just see 2D animations play out, because the thing is, way back when they first launched Brown Dust 2, there was actually, and it's still on YouTube, you can find it. It was a Brown Dust 2 opening, and it actually was a 2D animation, and they looked incredible in it. Like, and it still holds up to this day. So if you're curious about it, just look it up on YouTube. So that's why I said I would rather see them go about 2D animation scenes, right? Like I'm watching like animated shorts, you know, basically like how Honkai Impact 3 used to do their content with a lot of their 2D animated shorts. That's what I would love to see Brown Dust 2 go with, that type of theme to it, because they were really fucking good. Excuse me for my language, but they were really, really good. So, yeah, I would love to see that. Like, don't get me wrong, I do love the one that they released for like, you know, Story Pack 18, but I also feel like 2D animations would fit a lot better with it. I mean, they did incorporate 2D animations with Story Pack 18's trailer. They did show it, but then they went into the 3D animated world at the same time, so they incorporated like both of them, and they did it very well. But that's just my opinion, guys. Um, as for the sudden inconsistent shift from main characters like Lathel, so his personality changing. The thing was, guys, when the thing with that, and this is gonna spoil in case like cover your ears or you know fast forward through the video to the end. The thing with Lathel though, however, was his entire being was slashed by Blade's sword. And the thing with Blade's sword was it literally cut through anything, which is why she could even cut through something like such as feelings and things like that, memories that she cut away. So that's why you have like homunculus Lathel, is because when Liberta picked up his like, you know, his slashed out memories and basically his entire being of who he was, and she put it into one of the homunculus, right? And that's why homunculus Lathel is the way he is, because he embodies the personalities, the memories of everything, basically that Lathel, the original Lathel, you can call him, had with him. You know what I mean? Well, maybe not memories, but his personality. It was there. His kindness, his courage, everything was there with him in homunculus Lathel. So that was the entire reason why when we look at Lathel now in these future, you know, stories ever since Story Pack 15, you know, and we saw him again like in Story Pack, what was it, 17? I believe. No, it was 16. And again in 18. That's why his personality is different, because he doesn't have that type of like, you know, empathy anymore, or that kindness, because it's slashed out of him. So in a lot of ways, I don't really understand why they would say, especially him, would be inconsistent. You know what I mean? I don't get that. As for the start of it, in Story Pack 1, well, honestly, the ending to it was peak, because that's actually what showed Lathel and why he joined USD in the first place. That was the entire point of it at the very end. I can agree that maybe there was some things that they didn't have to include, maybe like Fred and his other friend. I forgot what his name is. I think it begins with an L. Even like Lysiane. I know Lysiane appeared too, but we never saw them again after that, right? So I can maybe agree with that. That maybe they could have done something a little bit more with Lathel and Ustia, just them talking to each other. I don't know, but I could maybe see that being a little bit, slow in the beginning with that type of stuff. But the thing is, you're getting to know Lathel. You're getting to know where he's come from, like the little village, his friends, the people he knew around the village by heart because he's lived there for so many years. So the thing is, it's kind of hard to really like deliver on what people want to see being a stronger hook. Unless like they got attacked, let's just say by the warlocks, like the entire village was just destroyed and his sister was killed in it. Then maybe I could see that being like, okay, well, there's your hook, right? But they didn't approach it that way. They approached it in a way that was like, it's introducing him, you know, and then him meeting Ustia, right? So it would be interesting to see how they would go with it if they ever were to revise this, like story pack one. It would be interesting to see. However, I wouldn't want them to change the ending of it because the ending, like I said, was actually what made Lathel, you know, hate warlocks and want to join Ustia and stopping them in the first place. You know what I mean? And then that's where we see their journey take off. Okay, guys. Let's see here. Looking at other community trends, key criticisms regarding coherence include events unfolding abruptly without proper build-up or story progressions and endings that feel frustrating and stifling. We have taken note of all feedback, such as Lathel's sudden actions that were pointed out from the beginning, the frustrating endings that always led back into dimensional gates, and the rather sudden appearance and final outcomes of characters like Olivia, Liberta, Azir, Hansen, and Shada. Please understand that this part is eventually vague, is intentionally vague, as it may contain spoilers for the story in this pack. Okay. So these issues are above all inexcusable in terms of story's own quality and entertainment value. It's not that the story is uninteresting because it's a JRPG or told from a third-person perspective. It became uninteresting because it was poorly written. As the director, I feel a deep sense of responsibility for this and sincerely apologize for presenting you with a result that falls short of expectations. So that's where, they switched to story writers. Next is a note about our direction. We've seen a range of feedback regarding the inclusion of a male character. For this seasonal event, we introduced one despite some concerns as he was a necessary part of telling Olivia's story, which he was. Even so, we recognize that the same narrative could have been presented in a more subtle or restrained way. We lack the sensitivity to anticipate discomfort or adjust our approach accordingly, and we regret that. And now, regarding our policy on fated guest releases, previously we mentioned that characters who appear in the main story or have official pairings are difficult to include as fated guests. This was due to feedback expressing discomfort with experienced romantic elements involving characters who are already in a canon. Oh my gosh, I can't even pronounce this. In a canon relationship, guys. Okay. Um, We've seen a lot of feedback asking whether this means Olivia, who appeared this time, is also ineligible to appear as a fated guest, and the development team is giving this matter serious thought. We are considering scaling back some of the existing pairing elements through future story revisions, and if that happens, we expect the conditions for releasing fated guests to become more flexible as well. We'll be asking fans directly and about this in the next survey. Honestly, guys, my thoughts on this was this. I'll keep it short. I would rather have them follow the story. Honestly, guys, the thing is, fated guest and the main story of themselves are separate completely. They have nothing to do with the fated guest. I'll repeat this. The main story, guys, has nothing to do with the fated guest. Okay? That has nothing to do with them. So basically, you can literally have Olivia appear as a fated guest and she can be single. Okay? She can be a single mother or she can just be single. Like, that's what I mean. It would make things overly complicated just because, people feel the need that, that they're dragging it into where it shouldn't be dragged to. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Olivia herself is a main character in the main story. That's how she is. That's how she'll always be. Okay? And Fated Guest is just a completely different thing. It has nothing to do with the main storyline. Okay? The only main story character that is a part of, like, Well, actually, from what they now this was a long time ago. I'm not sure if this still stands, but Eustia is the only one that's from like the main story that appears in like Jaden's Gate, because there was something about what she said was she wanted to go back home, right? That was the entire thing about that with Eustia. Now, other than that, every other fated guest that's in a character pack, right, is different. Okay, they're different. They're completely different, guys. Okay, they're completely different. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about it. I don't think they really need to do anything with changes or anything like that. That's how I personally feel about it. You know, and if they wanted to put even Shada in, guys, like she would be literally different from the main story too. You know. But anyway, let's just follow into the next. Following Story Pack 18, the next season is set to unfold in a completely new setting. To naturally guide the generational shift of the existing main cast and the introduction of new characters, we've been preparing Story Pack 19 as a bridge. This content was initially scheduled for a September update, and dubbing work was already underway. However, after reevaluating its elements with our recently discussed direction for story improvements, we've decided to halt production and postpone the update in pursuit of better quality. Okay. So please note that dubbing typically takes more than 6 months, so it may be provided in a later follow-up update. So we ask for your understanding at this point. Okay, that makes sense then. Oh yeah, so here's the new main story writer. Starting with the season story pack 20, writer Yu Ilum, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I do apologize if I didn't. I'll take over the main story. Previously, oh yeah, and this is what I said. They previously worked on Splash Queen. Oh yeah, the glue talk for Medical Club. Oh yeah, so it was actually one of the interaction scenes. Okay, so I was correct. I just didn't remember who it was. It was Teresa's. Previously, Yu Ilum was responsible for stories such as the 2025 Summer Event Pack, Splash Queen, and the glue talk for Medical Club Teresa, among others. We are looking forward to stories that align more closely with current trends. As for the previous writer, H. Lato Jongwoon, he's not going anywhere. Since he has the most thorough understanding of the world building and lore Brown does too, he'll continue overseeing things as a team lead. Additionally, the script written by Jong-woon up to Story Pack 19 will be improved and updated. Okay. So there you guys go with that, okay? Now, the current trends. So this is something I'm just going to talk really briefly about it, and this will most likely be where I end the video. So, the current trend thing, I mean, and this was something I even said in my other VOD that I have uploaded now, is that a lot of people in the chat, in the live stream chat, were saying that, it was basically like a 50-50 thing. They were saying like they should include they should insert an MC into Brown Dust 2. And then you had other people saying that they wouldn't like the idea of it because it would be overused, because it's used in like that concept is used in a lot of other games, right? So there was this entire thing about it in the live stream chat about it, and I didn't display it because it got pretty heated. Um, so I didn't actually display it when I was like doing the video. But yeah, I mean, my take on this is this. This is my opinion now. I would honestly not want to have a self-insert MC. I think the story has been doing well even without him. Despite how a lot of people really didn't like the main story in a lot of ways, it's still, in my opinion, didn't need a self-insert, male lead in general. Like, it didn't. And then there was one person that did say that there was one in Brave 9. Now, I have never played Brave 9, so I can't really talk a lot. Like, I can't really say anything about that. But that was one comment I did see. However, Brown Dust 2 is something that stems away from Brave 9 in a lot of ways. Even the devs said this too at some, like, in one of their live streams a while back. They said that Brown Dust 2 has nothing to do with Brave 9 in the way of, like, the direction, the storytelling, so to say, with it. That's basically what they were trying to say, and that's why you never really saw a lot of, like, Brave 9 cast come into Brown Dust 2 anymore. That was the reason why, because they wanted to make it its own thing. And they even said that back then. They said they wanted Brown Dust 2 to be its own thing. Now, they did mention that if they had to do it, they would pick someone from Brave 9, but they would have to follow very closely to something that's in the lore of Brown Dust 2. That's the only way they would bring someone from Brave 9 back into Brown Dust 2 for them to appear as a playable like character, you know what I mean? But it would have to make sense. They're just not going to do it for that, the hell of it. It has to make sense into the story. So that's what they did say in this live stream about it. So I can agree with that, but having just them keep adding them into like, without a purpose would be too much. And that I do agree with. But yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'd like to hear your comments down below and like to read them because in all honesty, I love this game a lot. I do the most content I do on my channel is with Brown Dust 2. And I would love to see this game do very well for itself. Like it still is. Like it still is despite, how there were some mixed feelings about the main storyline. And I agree there could have been, like I said before, there could have been some things improved upon, but I don't think all in all it's a terrible story. It's still a very riveting story and I enjoy streaming it and also doing content on it. But yeah, so that'll be it, guys. That's the shortened version, I hope it was at least, of my previous video. Hope you guys got a lot out of the dev notes and me explaining them, and hope I did a good job. If I got anything wrong, or if you maybe wanted to hear a little bit more about something, I promise next time I'll do better. But yeah, correct me if I got anything wrong in the comments below, because if I did, I apologize, and I would like to be corrected, But, that's how you grow as a content creator, right? But I do hope you guys got a lot out of it. Good luck on your pools. Let's have a fun rest of the summer for the 2nd anniversary events. And good luck, guys. And I'll see you all around the next time. Y'all take care. Stay safe and healthy. And I'll catch you then. See ya.